Good afternoon, I'm Carlos, and you're watching News on 2. Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Nazrin Muizzuddin Shah said the well-being of the nation and the prosperity of a country were influenced by the nature and the mind of the leaders. Well, he said the great scholars, authoritative umara and honest traders will be born in a country whose leaders have piety in embracing the greatness of the divine. Now, the Sultan of Perak said this at the national level Maulidur Rasul celebration at the Putrajaya International Convention Center, PICC, today. And Sultan Nazrin said that the poverty of the Ummah would be worse if the leader was more concerned with the agenda of building material wealth by taking and denying the rights of the Ummah through a dubious method. In attendance included Raja Permaisuri Perak, Tuanku Zahra Salim, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, and Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail. And with the theme, Menyantuni Umat Membawa Rahmat. About 4,000 contingents comprised of government and private agencies, statutory bodies, uniformed bodies, non-governmental organizations, students from institutions of higher learning and schools attended the rally in conjunction with the Maulidur Rasul this year. Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sarafuddin Idris Shah, has decreed for all road signs in Shah Alam, Selangor, with Chinese characters to be removed and replaced with the national language, Bahasa Malaysia, sign only. The decree, which was relayed by Sultan Sarafuddin's private secretary, Muhammad Munir Bani, in a letter dated 19 November to the state government, stated that the change should be done before the Sultan's 73rd birthday next month.
The local daily recently quoted Persatuan Penulis Nasional Malaysia, PENA, President Muhammad Saleh Rahmad, as criticizing the move to change road signs in Jawi and Bahasa Malaysia to other languages. He said the move to change the Jawi writing to Chinese or Tamil was an insolent act, as it was an attempt to discard Malay heritage. On 15 November, a user through his Twitter account questioned why the road signs used the Chinese language. The Shah Alam City Council, MBSA, in its reply to the question, said that a meeting was held by the Selangor State Executive Council on 13 January 2017 had decided that besides using Latin script for road signs, the use of names in traditional village areas will be using Jawi script, while Mandarin characters will be used in new villages in line with the community in that area.
Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the government does not intend to reduce the price of the 1 kilogram packed subsidized cooking oil at RM2.50 at the moment, well, even though the price of palm oil has dropped.
Datuk Seri Saifuddin said even though the subsidy borne by the government was getting thinner following the fall in price of palm oil, it had not reached the level the government would lower the price of cooking oil in the market. He said the government had allocated 700 million ringgit this year to cover the 60-cent subsidy for each 1 kilogram packed cooking oil.
Tidak sampai kepada kerajaan nak buat keputusan untuk turunkan harga minyak masak lah. Ya, kerana 700 juta amount yang besar dalam memberikan subsidi kepada rakyat minyak masak dalam kategori minyak masak 1 kilogram.
The Kulim Bandar Baharu Member of Parliament said this during a press conference after launching the Malaysia Business Ethnic EPM in Putrajaya yesterday. He said the price of palm oil for December was only 1,775 ringgit per ton, which was almost 50% lower compared to the price at the end of 2016 under the ex-BN government, whereby palm oil prices had rocketed to around 3,000 ringgit per ton.
Well, several non-governmental organizations, namely the Dewan Ekonomi dan Sosial Muslim Malaysia, DESMA, Pertubuhan Martabat Jalinan Muhibah Malaysia, MJMM, and Ikatan Rakyat Insan Muslim Malaysia, IRIM, have lodged a police report in relation to the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, known as ICERD, issue in the country. Now, these organizations are calling for ICERD to be denied to avoid a tense situation in the country.
Isu ICERD ni sebenarnya perlu ditolak terus. Perlu ditolak terus daripada kerajaan Pakatan Rakyat pun tolak isu ICERD ni. Kerana kita di Malaysia ni hidup selama 60 tahun tanpa apa-apa masalah.
Kita selama ni menduduk semenjak daripada tahun 57 sampai sekarang aman damai. Semua bangsa menduduk aman damai. Ini tak perlu. Sebagai Menteri Perpaduan haruslah meneliti dalam semua perkara, menengok dalam semua benda sebelum mengeluarkan kenyataan-kenyataan sensitiviti ini.
The NGOs have also called on the Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, P. Wethamurthy, to play his role in upholding the unity of the people in the country. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said it will be impossible to ratify ICERD as it involves amending the federal constitution.
The Negeri Sembilan Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department disposed various drugs valued at 1.14 million ringgit at the toxic waste disposal site at the Nature Quality Centre in Bukit Pelando in Port Dickson. Now, State Police Chief Dr. Nur Azam Jamaluddin said that the drugs, namely ketum leaves and ketum water, heroin, methamphetamine, ketamine and Aramin 5 weighing almost 74 kilograms were from cases between the year 2000 and 2017.
Jadi keputusan ini bertujuan untuk mengelakkan tempat menyimpan menjadi tidak tersusun dan menyukarkan lagi pergerakan keluar masuk barang kes bagi tujuan perbicaraan di samping memberi ruang bagi kes-kes yang baru dan masih dalam perbicaraan. Di samping itu juga ia juga merupakan risiko paling utama yang boleh membahayakan kesihatan kepada anggota petugas di stor barang kes dan pegawai-pegawai penyiasat yang menguruskan barang-barang kes tersebut.
All the cases involved 1,449 investigation papers which were solved in court. Dr. Nur Azam said the department is serious in its effort to curb drugs by focusing on arresting drug traffickers in the state.
Well, elsewhere, police seized 900 packages of ketum leaves weighing 150 kilograms and 360 bottles of cough syrup worth 12,000 ringgit during a raid on 16 November in Lipis, Pahang. And Lipis District Police Chief Superintendent Azri Akma Ayub said police also found 140 red-coated pills suspected to be methamphetamine.
The seized loot, believed to be meant for local distribution to drug addicts, was obtained from two men during a raid on a rented house in Merapu at 10:35 a.m.
Salah seorang mempunyai rekod lampau, malah dikendaki bersangkut dengan Gua Musang report, bersambit dengan satu kes samun di sana dan juga kes melibatkan dadah. Semasa tangkapan, mereka sedang cuba melarikan diri. Terdapat sedikit pergelutan bersama dengan suspek di antara pasukan polis dan juga suspek. Pedang samurai tidak digunakan, dijumpai di dalam kenderaan.
Police believe both male suspects, whom had rented the house for 1 month, used it as a processing center for ketum leaves and cough syrup to be sold to drug addicts in the area of Merapu and Gua Musang, Kelantan. An allegedly stolen car, 2,300 ringgit worth of cash and a samurai sword were also seized from the premises. Both suspects tested positive for methamphetamine, with one of them having a past criminal record in a drug case and a robbery case. The duo were remanded for 7 days to enable investigation under Section 39 subsection B, Section 39 subsection A, subsection 1, Section 15 subsection 1, subsection A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952, Section 30, Section 3 of the Poisons Act, and Section 6 of the Corrosive and Explosive Substances and Dangerous Weapons Act.
The number of flood victims in Malacca increased to 1,081 people as at 8 a.m. today from 868 people last night. And Malacca Malaysia Civil Defence Force APM Director Lieutenant Colonel for PA Effendi Ali said the flood evacuees were being accommodated at 8 relief centres to accommodate flood victims whose homes were inundated by flash floods following heavy rain from 1:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. today. Now, State Civil Defence Force said the 3 new flood Balai Raya Kampung Beringin and Sekolah Kebangsaan SK Belimbing Dalam in Alor Gajah and Balai Raya Kampung Tanah Merah Krubong in Melaka Tengah. Alor Gajah has the lion's share of flood victims, totaling 951 people. And Chief Minister Adli Zahari said the state government has instructed several barrage gates which control the flow of water from rivers in Alor Gajah and Melaka Tengah to the main dam to be opened to overcome flash floods. And said this when met after visiting flood victims at Balai Raya Gade in Alor Gajah last night. Now, Adli also announced that the state government will provide aid of between 200 and 500 ringgit to flood victims. A little boy died after falling from the third floor of the military quarters at Camp Wedderburn in Setapak, Kuala Lumpur after 2 p.m. yesterday. The victim, 6-year-old Muhammad Harith Hazim Abdul Malik, was believed to have been attempting to retrieve a toy from an awning of the apartment when he slipped and fell below.
The boy is said to have climbed the safety barrier along the flats corridor when the mishap happened. Wangsa Maju Police Chief Superintendent Nur Azmi Yusuf said the father, aged 37, rushed down on being informed as to what had happened by his daughter and found the boy lying at the bottom with his head bleeding and was unconscious. He rushed the boy to the CAMS clinic and was transferred to Hospital Kuala Lumpur. Nur Azmi said the boy was pronounced dead on arrival at HKL's emergency department. The case has been classified as sudden death.
A tuition teacher was allegedly killed after her husband beat her with a clothes rack during a dispute in a rented apartment in Aitam, Georgetown, Pulau Pinang. And Timur Laut Police Chief ACP Che Zamani Che Awang said after receiving a report on the incident from Kulim Police Station, a police team then took the 42-year-old suspect to the scene.
Upon arriving, police found the 39-year-old victim, T. Santi's body in a pool of blood in the back room of the apartment. An initial inspection found a number of injuries on the victim's head. The suspect claimed that during the 10 p.m. incident on Sunday, a dispute took place between him and his wife when he responded by hitting her on the head with a clothes rack. He then left the apartment at 11 p.m. and went home to his village in Kulim. The suspect returned to the scene at 11 a.m. yesterday and found his wife still unconscious. The Chinese suspect later informed his family of the incident, upon which they urged him to lodge a report at Kulim Police Headquarters. A pathologist's examination revealed that the woman died at the scene after being hit in the head with a blunt object, and further investigations found injuries on the right side of her head, eyebrows and ears. The victim's body was taken to Hospital Pulau Pinang for post-mortem, while the suspect was detained for further investigation under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder.
Well, Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Phuc said the establishment of the Malaysian Transportation Safety Board is just one of the measures which will be implemented to address road accidents, namely those involving express buses. Well, he said the establishment body was among the recommendations put forth during the Recommendation Review Panel known as RRP report, which reviewed the Genting Highlands bus accident in August 2013, which saw the loss of 37 lives.
Pihak RRP mengesyorkan supaya penubuhan Lembaga Keselamatan Pengangkutan Malaysia ataupun Malaysian Transportation Safety Board MTSB perlu diberikan keutamaan. Ini adalah show daripada RRP dan saya bagi pihak kementerian mengambil berat berkenaan dengan show ini, dan pada ketika ini saya maklumkan kepada media, pihak kementerian secara dasarnya kita bersetuju dengan penubuhan Malaysian Transportation Safety Board.
The Seremban conference after a handing over ceremony of the RRP report, which contained 51 suggestions over the Genting Highlands bus accident at the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research, Meros, in Kajang yesterday. He also said the compulsory wearing of safety belts for all new express and tour bus passengers would commence next year, and enforcement on compliance would be carried out in 2020. Loke said, meanwhile, 54% of the recommendations had been implemented, while 38% were partially implemented and 8% have not.
Well, all business premises in the Federal Territory will be required to utilize biodegradable products by year 2020 in an effort to preserve sustainability of the environment. And Federal Territories Minister Khalid Abdul Samad said the implementation of the use of biodegradable products that could be composted on a national level has been agreed upon by the Cabinet and the Ministry to pioneer the effort.
Kita sebagai Kementerian Wilayah, kita dah mulakan. So kita teruskan dan kita nak cuba jadi sebagai perintis lah, dan semua masalah-masalah yang kita alami akan dimaklumkan kepada pihak alam sekitar dan sebagainya supaya digunakan sebagai pengalaman dan pengajaran untuk mereka dapat laksanakan dengan lebih lancar lagi. Ya.
The Shah Alam Member of Parliament said this after officiating the seminar of coordination and enforcement of biodegradable products in Chera Selangor. The seminar, which was attended by about 300 participants, was to raise awareness among the communities and industry players on the use of biodegradable products in order to make the city's landscape and environment plastic-free and clean. Meanwhile, Khalid said enforcement action would be imposed on manufacturers that were found to have misused the ministry's logo by printing it on non-biodegradable plastic products. This followed complaints received stating that there were manufacturers and distributors who had done so, supplying unrecognized plastics to business premises around Kuala Lumpur.
Well, public transport users in Pulau Pinang will be provided with a better transport system when the Penang Central Integrated Transportation Hub begins its operation on Thursday. Now, the terminal will provide services including express bus, local bus and taxi services under one roof, besides integrating with the railway and train services of Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad KTMB.
Malaysian Resources Corporation Berhad MRCB Executive Vice President Dr. Del Akbar Khan said all express bus operations from the adjacent terminal will move to Penang Central beginning 1 a.m. on Thursday. This indirectly will help solve the road traffic congestion in the surrounding area. The 7-story hub is expected to receive an average of 3,000 users each day. It also includes 250 daily express buses, 500 local buses with 32 stops, 32 KTMB commuter services, 10 ETS KTMB services, and 50 ferry trips. Penang Central will accommodate 68 express bus operators with 38 buses at the departure and arrival sections, besides providing 580 parking spaces.
Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad MAHB has allocated over 800,000 ringgit for its corporate social responsibility or CSR programs this year. MAHB Acting Chief Executive Officer Raja Azmi Raja Nazuddin said aids are channeled through 3 CSR pillars, which brings an overall impact.
So 3 main pillar CSR kita ialah education and youth leadership, salah satu pillar. Pillar yang kedua ialah community enrichment. So you kena enrich community berdekatan dengan airport. Salah satu ialah airport dan community, iaitu program hari ini. Yang ketiganya Malaysia branding. Itu secara khususlah program CSR kami.
Raja Azmi said this to reporters when met at the Terai Kembali Sekolah program in Subang, Selangor. 130 students of Sekolah Kebangsaan Dengkil from Standard 1 to 6 were taken shopping to prepare for the new school session next year. The assistants are channeled to pupils from underprivileged listed on the Selangor Zakat Board.
And that concludes this afternoon's news on 2. In our top story, nation's prosperity influenced by leaders. So do join us again at 7 this evening. I'm Amin Carlos, and from all of us here, Salam Maulidur Rasul. Thanks for watching.